Bro, what the hell was that Raiders-Chargers game? Oh my gosh. So, I'll first talk about Steelers-Ravens, then I'll talk about the Raiders-Chargers. So, Steelers beat the Ravens 16-13 in overtime. Steelers finished the season 9-7-1. We knocked the Ravens out of the playoffs. Anyway, so we all thought, going into today, we all thought that today was going to be Ben's final game. It wasn't. What we needed to win. We needed the Jaguars to beat the Colts. And we needed the Raiders-Chargers game to not end in a tie. And all those things happened. So, Steelers offense, every week I always say this, they're always terrible. And it still stands. But the Steelers offense came up, was so clutch in our overtime possession. Especially Deontay Johnson, Pat Freiermuth. The biggest one was Ray McLeod's 4th down conversion. But then Chris Boswell kicking the field goal to win us the game. The Ravens kind of shot themselves in the foot. Tyler Huntley threw 2 interceptions. One of them was in the red zone, which was very costly. It was a very low-scoring, close game, which is what to expect from a Steelers-Ravens game. They're always close games. They're never blowouts. Hardly ever. It's very rare that a Steelers-Ravens game, someone wins by 2 possessions. It's very rare that happens. I had a feeling that there wasn't going to be a lot of scoring. It was raining pretty bad in Baltimore today. But the important thing, Steelers came out with a win. T.J. Watt ended up tying the NFL sack record. If he doesn't win Defensive Player of the Year, then the system's rigged. You can't tie. There's no way you can tie the NFL sack record and not win Defensive Player of the Year. There's no way. So we won. Then what else we needed? The Jaguars to win. And somehow, some way, the Jaguars beat the Colts 26-11. The Colts, I don't know what the heck happened. I thought the Colts were going to win because the Colts were going to play to win because the Colts had to win to go to the playoffs. But they didn't. They just blew it. The Jaguars just completely embarrassed them. And the Colts' losing streak in Jacksonville is still alive. They haven't won in Jacksonville since 2014. And then we needed one more thing, which was the Raiders-Chargers game to not end in a tie, which, we basically just had a hope that both the coaches for both teams would actually be decent human beings and play for a win instead of taking the wuss way out and tie. I'm not just saying that because a tie would have knocked the Steelers out. I am 100% against ties no matter the circumstance. I have been advocating for years for the NFL to get rid of ties. It shouldn't be a thing. It's not a thing in college football, so why is it a thing in the NFL? But going into the game, I was watching, I was like, okay, I literally do not care who wins. As long as someone wins, Steelers are in the playoffs. And then when the Raiders were up 29-14, and I said, this is it. And the Chargers score 15 unanswered and tie the game. Herbert throws a buzzer beater touchdown to send the game to overtime. then it goes to overtime. I'm like, oh great. I said, of course, the game that can't end in a tie goes to overtime. Then the Raiders' first possession, they kicked the field goal. Then the Chargers got the ball. They kicked the field goal and tied it again. Then at that point, it was the next score wins the game. It's sudden death at that point. Oh my gosh. Then the Raiders they were only running the ball. Like, they had good field position, but they were only running the ball. And they were acting like they were just going to run the clock out and have the game end in a tie. And I honestly thought it was going to be that. Because it was like, it passed the 2-minute warning, they ran the ball. Then no one was stopping the clock. The clock was still running. Then they ran the ball again, and no one was stopping the clock. And then with 38 seconds left, Brandon Staley decides to call a timeout. Then the Raiders get a first down. They had a good gain, and then that put them in field goal range. And then Daniel Carlson, the man, the myth, the legend, Daniel Carlson, kicked a game-winning field goal to send the Raiders to the playoffs, to send the Chargers home, and to send the Steelers to the playoffs. So the Steelers will be playing next Sunday night at Kansas City. We're going to get blown out, but, at least I can say my team made the playoffs. So, but, I had such a mix of emotions. I was just sitting on the couch here. I was all depressed because I was like, oh, my God, I can't believe that this game is going to end in a tie. And then the Chargers got a timeout. Called a timeout, false. And then I got hope. I was like, and then then the Raiders got a first down. I was like, oh, my gosh, they could go for a field goal now. And then they were letting the clock run. I said, oh, my God, are they just going to let the clock run out? The Carr called a timeout with 2 seconds left. And then Carlson kicked the field goal and won the game. But everyone was saying that this game could have easily ended in a tie, because if the game ended in a tie, then both teams would have went to the playoffs, because the Steelers lost to both the Raiders and the Chargers. So it would have put them both in. It would have knocked the Steelers out. But regardless, Raiders-Chargers has to be game of the year with all the twists and the crazy ending at the end of regulation, the crazy ending in overtime. Oh my gosh. If I wasn't a Steelers fan, this game would have been very entertaining to watch. But since, of course, this game had to affect how my team goes to playoffs, I was very worried. And then when Carlson made the field goal, I just went absolutely crazy. But, important thing is, Steelers are in the playoffs. Let's go get it done. Beat Kansas City. And then if we beat Kansas City, then we'll play Tennessee in a divisional round. And we already beat them this year, so we can do it again.